As you can probably tell by the sound of the parrots up here, I'm in Australia at the moment. Fantastic place to be. The bad news is I've had to leave the whippet at home, and he's, I think, digging up my mum's flower bed, but never mind. But this is a fantastic part of Australia. It's not the hot outback that you sometimes think of with Australia. This is tropical rainforest, very high rainfall, very lush foliage, those kind of things. So I'm going to try and film two totally different areas here. I'm going to try and film some of the things I see around here that are rainforest, very lush, quite overgrown, difficult to spot stuff sometimes. And the other place I'm going to go is there's a range of mountains around here, and on top of the mountains, it's above the cloud, it's a different climate, totally different birds and animals. There's some freshwater lakes there as well, and hopefully I'm going to film some really good stuff up there. So it's all good really, apart from my mum's flower bed. So I've had to leave the whippet behind, but dogs have got this like sixth sense, and I think when I was packing, I think he knew he wasn't coming with me. One of the things when you're in the rainforest that you notice first is just how easy it is to hear all this wildlife. You can hear everything. You can hear the birds, the parrots, the lorikeets. That noise up there is actually insects, and it's really, really easy to hear all this wildlife around you. But what you notice as well is it's actually pretty difficult to see it. It's living high up and it's living deep in all this foliage. But there's some really great things in here, so I'm going to try and film some of those now. Now we're up in the tablelands. It's not very far from the city, but it's a long way up, and it's a totally different landscape. There's an awful lot of fresh water. There's a waterfall over there behind me, and there's a lot of ponds and lakes around here, which is where we're going to go and try and see if we can see some birds and some wildlife there. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful place. The tablelands are a beautiful place to go and spend some time. It's not quite as hot and humid as it is down in Cairns, and it's probably only a couple of hours drive up into the mountains. This honeyeater was one of my favourite little birds, and actually a little bit easier to film than some of the others, because at least he was out in the sunshine, whereas filming things in the dark forest itself is actually quite difficult. Another of my favourite birds were these tiny little doves, only the size of sparrows. Beautiful, beautiful little things. But of course it's very special to be able to find somewhere that you wouldn't normally expect perhaps in Australia, where there's so much fresh water and a cooler climate. And some of the fresh water up there, the lakes and the ponds, they make their own little ecosystem. So there's all those, there's crabs, there's insects and bugs and all kinds of amphibians that are living by the fresh water, all next to these huge lakes where there's an opportunity to see. I mean, on this lake here I saw a fish eagle, which was really special. And the other thing, of course, that you see, especially from these hides, is ospreys, which are really difficult to see at home, but up in northern Australia they're not so uncommon, and really special to be able to get a good photo opportunity like this, something that is very difficult to see back in the UK. And freshwater and these ospreys, it makes for a really great environment both for the wildlife and for the bird watcher, because there's so many things going on all the time, and they're really not very disturbed by people. We were the only people there, and there's all sorts of places you can find where probably you're going to be the only person there. The only thing I had a job filming, which was a shame, was these beautiful big bats that come in, the fruit bats that come in at night, but it's really dark by then, so that was pushing my luck a little bit. I hope you've enjoyed this video anyway, and if you have, please subscribe or leave a comment. Thank you.